The Utopian Society is putting on a child safety seminar and talking about different child safety topics, like what to do if you are approached by a stranger, bicycle and pedestrian safety, and also the issues with drunk driving and not getting in a car with somebody that's been drinking alcohol. How old do you have to be before you don't have to wear a helmet anymore? Does anyone know? 147. I say that because even as an adult, if I ride my motorcycle every day, always wear a helmet. But if I ride a bicycle, I always wear a helmet. Very important to always wear a helmet. Do any of you walk to school? Yeah? Walk to school? So that's a big thing when you're walking to school and you get in that crosswalk. Everyone thinks that I'm good, I'm in the crosswalk, I can just go right across. And what we tell people is don't think that the cars see you. When you get to a crosswalk and you want to cross the street, look every driver in the eye to make sure they see you. You don't just run in there. The other thing is kids love to be on this, and they're doing this as they walk. You know how many people I see run into things, trip over stuff, and they're just not paying attention because they're on their phone. So especially when you're walking to school, and just part of your overall being aware of your surroundings, be safe. If your head is in your phone, you can't see what's going on around you. Now, I'm guilty of this. I have my little ticket writing machine, and I'm actually focusing on that and doing that, and the next thing I know, the person that was sitting in the car that I stopped is standing next to me, and I had no idea that they had gotten out of the car and they got there. That's how focused I was on my device. So always expect that the drivers aren't going to see you. So before you step off, make sure you look both ways, look at all the drivers in the eye before you go, and then go across. If somebody you don't know approaches you, say they pull up in a car and they say, hey, I'll give you a ride to school or whatever, you don't know this person, should you ever get in that car with them? No. If somebody walks up and let's say they tried to grab you, what do you think you should do?
Yell.
Or run.
Very good. All those are right. Run, scream,
You would.
fight for your life. So there's no rules when someone's trying to grab you. Safety is something that pertains to everybody. When you're very young to where you're very old, learning to be safe, learning to be aware of your surroundings. And if you start to educate, kids early on and kind of ingrain in them the proper safety methods to take, whether you're riding a bike or you're a pedestrian, you're walking by yourself, all those things, those just become habits throughout their life. And also if you get them accustomed to, if they see somebody that's been drinking and they know they shouldn't get in a car with them, if you ingrain that message early on and keep repeating it, then when that time comes, they're just automatically going to say, no, I'm not going to get in the car. You want to bring attention to that where you're at. So other people hear that you're yelling, and everyone's going to, if we heard someone yelling in the parking lot right now, all of us would go like this. We'd all start looking, and that's what you want. You want to draw attention to that situation and get away from them. That's why I always say it's better to always walk with a friend rather than by yourself.
Or a dog.
Or a dog. Is it a big dog or a little dog?
Big dog.
Big dog. I like the little dogs. They don't care. They're really ferocious. So, but big dogs are good too. But always be aware of your surroundings. Don't talk to strangers. Don't allow them to get close to you. And if worst case, run. Where should you run? Should you go run and hide in a bush, or would you maybe want to run to a more open area, or where there's people?
Run and tell other people what's happening, and they will help you.
Yes, very good. You want to run and tell another adult. And say, hey, this person's, they're running after me, they're trying to get me. Let me ask you guys some basic stuff. When you ride your bicycle and you're on the road, right? Do you know which side of the road that you ride on? So do you ride with traffic or do you ride against traffic?
Against. No,
With, yeah, so you ride with traffic. Yeah. So
against, because you're going to be in front of them if you're against.
right, and they're coming at you, so you always ride with traffic. But how about if you come to an intersection? There's stop signs there and you're riding your bike. Should you ride your bike across the intersection, or do you think it'd be better if you walked it across? It's better for you to walk it across. What about riding on the sidewalk? Is that okay or no?
Kind of, because you can use your bike.
So this is my rule, and these guys may strangle me for saying this. You're not supposed to ride your bicycle on the sidewalk, right? It's supposed to be on the road. However, would I want to ride my bicycle out here on Pacific Coast Highway, or would I rather ride on the sidewalk? I would rather be on the sidewalk. And me, as a Torrance police officer in this city, I will never stop you for riding on the sidewalk unless you're running people over with your bike. That would be the only way. Because I know how fast people drive, and I know that, and I've been to a lot of crashes where people have been riding on where they're supposed to on the roadway and have gotten hit by a vehicle. And so I always say it's safer. I know we have rules and stuff, but common sense would just be I'd rather be on the sidewalk than out in the street. So just try and remember that if you're riding around. If you can, try and be on the sidewalk. Just be cognizant that technically you're not supposed to be there, but as long as you're not running over people and stuff, that's good. Skateboards, definitely on the sidewalk. Skateboards, I recommend wearing your elbow pads, your knee pads, and your helmet, because I used to skateboard, and that was before we had all that stuff, and I have lots of scars and bruises not doing that. Anything you're doing with wheels, right, I would recommend wearing a helmet. So, and as a kid you have to until you're 18. If you get arrested for DUI, at minimum, it's $5,000 at minimum. That's if you just say, I'm not even going to fight the case, I'm just going to take whatever they give me. It's minimum $5,000. Plus, you got to go to a whole year of alcohol awareness classes. So one class every week for 52 weeks, which they make you pay for, right? And then your insurance rates go up. If you fight the DUI, it's no less than $10,000. So it's very expensive, and it stays on your driving record. We're very thankful to have the Utopian Society do this, because there's not a lot of organizations that do things like this. Safety is important to all of us, especially for our kids, and for them to put stuff together like this and have officers come and talk and interact with the kids and the parents. It's very important. It helps build relationships with the communities, and it helps get the proper message out to the kids and their families.
What makes Genius coconut smoothies so unique is we incorporate the entire coconut. The coconut water and the coconut meat. True to nature, we don't leave anything out. And the coconut water provides electrolytes and potassium and hydration. The coconut meat offers the meal replacement value, the protein, the fiber, the omega-3s, and good fats. So you're getting the best of both worlds. I really was on a mission to create something that the world has never seen before. We went all the way out to Thailand, as close to the source as possible, working with local farmers to find the best and most nutritionally dense coconuts in the world. And we didn't want to settle for less. There's so many different coconuts and varieties out there, and we did our research for a very long time. And we found that the Thai Nam Hom coconut is considered one of the best tasting, most nutritionally packed coconuts in the world. One thing that I learned when traveling to Thailand is that the coconut trees take up to 25 years to grow before anyone can start harvesting coconuts. That is absolutely amazing and takes an incredible amount of patience from the farmers to harvest the right coconut. And we love that with our Genius Coconut Smoothie that we can support the local ecosystem here and really support the local farmers. We have a zero waste philosophy with our Genius Coconut Smoothies. And I'll tell you why. We use the entire coconut, which makes us so different from any other company out there that has a coconut beverage. And they are harvested at their peak in taste and nutrition. We blend the coconut water and the meat together, and it makes for this creamy, delicious, filling coconut smoothie. There's a lot of companies that use coconut concentrates, or they use some byproduct of the coconut. I felt incredibly compelled to create something more. There's plenty of coconut waters out there. There's plenty of probiotic drinks, plenty of smoothies, plenty of almond milk drinks. But really, no company has ever come out with a drink that uses the entire coconut. It's tasty, it's healthy, it's filling, and we use real coconut water and real coconut meat. And I wanted to bring something to the world that no one has ever seen before. And that's why it's called Genius, because we created the world's first coconut smoothie.
So today we were helping out with a traffic safety course. Basically, we went through, talked to the kids, let them know like, hey, a couple of safety tips about how we can act safe at home and how we can just better work around traffic.
Hi, so I'm Officer Hernandez with the Highway Patrol,
I'm Officer Martinez with the Highway Patrol.
and we're here just to kind of talk to you a little bit how the other officer was talking to everyone. One of the things that I want to reiterate, and this is something that I make sure that I tell everyone, is when you're getting to a crosswalk, you just kind of walk like this. No, you should always look left, look right before you can cross, right? You want to make sure you do that before you get through. So look left, look right, izquierda, derecha. Always look left, look right, because you don't know what could be coming from this side. What if there's this group over here is coming on their bicycle this way, and you're trying to cross? So you never know. You want to make sure that you're always crossing. Look left, look right before you go through. Another thing, if you're on your bicycle, what's the first thing you're using?
Brain.
Yes, your brain, but you're protecting your brain. How are you protecting your brain?
The helmet.
With the helmet, yeah, of course. I want to make sure, because I see Cora has a boo-boo on her knee, right? Cora has a little boo-boo on her knee, so, Simon has a boo-boo on his elbow as well, right? So you want to make sure that your head is always protected, all right? So you're wearing your helmet. You're on which side of the road? On the right side. So you're riding with or without against traffic? With? Mickey Mouse. With or without against traffic? With. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm glad we're all listening, right? So we're going with traffic. We're making sure that we're looking left and right. So we're doing the same thing as if we're walking. What are we doing? Look left, looking right. Every single time, you want to make sure. So what does that mean? Are we going to be using our earphone? No, because you can't hear anyone, right? You can't hear a car honking.
You need to use your helmet.
You need to use your helmet, but you're not going to be using your headphones. That's more for this little group over here on this side. Yeah. Oh no, I don't do that. As you're coming up to an intersection or as you're coming up to a driveway, it's the same exact thing. What do cars do when they're coming out of the driveway?
Stop.
No, they're coming out. Most of the time they're backing up and they can't see you. So you want to make sure that you're looking ahead, looking forward. So just be careful with with the brake lights or with the white lights that are coming from the cars. Try to scan ahead. Make sure that you're keeping your eyes up, so you're trying to keep as much of a high visual horizon is what we call it, right? You're looking as far ahead as you can so that you can either slow down or stop before they can hit you. You're a lot harder to see because you're smaller, right? You're on a bicycle or you're walking. How old do you have to be to take off your seatbelt or not wear your seatbelt at all?
20.
20? Let's try again.
Always have to wear your seatbelt.
Yeah, there we go.
Always.
I was going to say 100.
47, there you go.
So we had them put on the what we call the DUI goggles. So they're basically goggles that kind of impair your vision, and we took them through a little traffic course just so they can kind of see this is what a DUI driver is going to see out on the road, so they understand, like, yeah, if this is what they're seeing, there's no way I'm getting in a car like that. So we're also going to talk a little bit about driving impaired, okay? So we want to keep you guys safe, and we're going to give you kind of a crash course in how you can identify somebody that maybe you shouldn't be getting into a car. So I know a lot of the younger guys don't know really what driving impaired is, but we're going to tell you people are acting a little funny and you shouldn't get in the car with them, okay? So the first thing for driving impaired that I want you guys to look out for, look around the room. Let's make eye contact with everybody. Everybody has nice, pretty, crystal clear eyes, right? Everybody, all over here on the side, everything's nice and white, right? Look around, everybody's got the white right here on the sides. Looks nice and nice, right? So when we're talking to people, we look them in the eyes, right? So if we talk to somebody and we see this is all red, this gets super red, it looks like they're super sleepy. If somebody's getting in the car like that, we're like, maybe something weird's going on. Let's look around at something else and see what else is going on. Maybe if we're talking to mommy, daddy, auntie, uncle, whoever's in the car, and we smell something a little funny. We're like, I don't know what that smell is. That's kind of a funky smell. It's not like they ate Oreos or something weird, or they ate some garlic and they got the stinky breath. It's a weird smell that we don't know what it is. Now we're thinking again, hey, something's going on. How are mommy, daddy, uncle, auntie, whoever's giving us a ride, how are they acting? When I'm talking to them, do they have like a fat tongue? Are they talking all weird and slow and they talk with a funny voice? They shouldn't be, right? Mommy, daddy, auntie, uncle, we all know how they sound. But if they start sounding a little bit different, that's another thing. We're like, maybe they have a little slur when they're talking. I don't want to get in the car with that person, right? How about when they're walking? Everybody walks normal, right? We all just walk straight lines. We look left, we look right when we're looking for traffic, right? If they're stumbling a little bit when they're getting in the car, big red flag. I don't want to get in that car with that. Are you guys going to get in the car with that? No, heck no, right? No, so those are the couple of things that we just kind of want to keep you in line. Right now, let's try rub your tummy. Everybody rub your tummy, rub your tummy, rub your tummy, and then pat your head. Pat your head. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, getting a little complicated, right? That's two things. That's only two things. Imagine when you're driving. You got the steering wheel. You're playing with the gas. You got the pedals. You're looking in your mirrors left and right. You're looking back. You've got to make sure you're playing with the stereo and everything. You're doing a lot more. That was pretty hard, right? If you have anything impairing yourself, you're not going to be able to do that. So that's why it's super, super important that we don't ever get in a car with anybody like that. This is where you guys are going to make a promise to me. I won't get in a car with anybody that's acting funny, right? No? You guys promise? Yeah? What about, I want you guys to promise that you're going to get in the car and you're going to put on your seatbelt. You promise? Yes. Yeah? You guys want something that I know that you're going to promise? I can kind of keep track and make sure you guys promise? How many people like being told what to do? A little bit? Maybe? Not so much, right? How many people want to tell mom and dad what to do? Yeah, you kind of want to tell mom and dad what to do? Yeah? You want to be in charge? Yeah? Okay. I'm going to make you guys officers and mom and dad have to listen to you. When you talk to, just say, adults, when you say things like DUI, everybody knows exactly what we're talking about. When we talk to these young kids, they really don't know what we're talking about. So kind of talking them through what a DUI driver looks like, maybe using some terms that they'd understand, just funny smells, talking funny, just to let them know, like, hey, it's not okay for you to get into a car, and it's okay for you to say something. We went through and we actually had the kids take a little oath with us to say, like, hey, I'm not getting in a car with somebody. If I see something like that, I'm gonna say something. I'm not just gonna go along with the program and jump in that car. Like, I'm the responsible one. Mom and dad, auntie, uncle, they can all take a hint from me, and maybe that'll make them have some better choices. All right, everybody take a sticker. Nobody put it on yet. We gotta take an oath. All right, who knows right and left? Right hand? Right hand. Take your right hand. You're gonna make a promise to me, promise to mom, promise to auntie, promise to uncle. I will not ever get in a car with somebody that's driving impaired. I will always
I will always
put my seatbelt on whenever I get in the car. If I see mommy, daddy, auntie, uncle, no seatbelt on, I'm gonna tell them put it on. I swear. You can put your badges on. Congratulations, you're all junior officers. All right, good job. One of the most important things that we tell people all the time, just monitor your speed. DUI, it's never a good idea. Like we were reiterating multiple times, Uber's an option. If at any point that you're like, I don't know if maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, just go the safe route, get yourself a car ride.
So Argos is one of our canines for the police department, one of our police dogs. And so Officer Pigden is his handler, as we call it. They're like best friends because they work together, live together. And so basically went through what Argos does on a daily basis is he goes and his job is to help us as police officers to look for bad guys, to look for evidence of crimes, also to, help us apprehend suspects. And he has a lot of capabilities that we don't. He's smaller, he can go places that we can't go, and he has a nose that none of us can match. He can smell when he's looking for somebody, he can find them.
So, Argos is 5 years old. He's by the same age as some of you. He's from Slovakia, which is a country in Europe. I think he knows that the tennis ball is in my pocket. I have a feeling. So all of his commands are in Czech, which is, my version of Czech. So he has been gracious enough to adapt to my version of Czech. So all of his commands are in Czech, so when I tell him "sodni," that means sit. And then if I tell him "laki," that means lay down. So all of his commands, with the exception of here, and the other command that I'm about to give him, which means to go find what it is he's trying to find, those are the only couple English words that he knows. He's waiting for me to tell him to get to work. To him, work is play. So I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to let him search these, and then we'll see if he catches on to where that odor is. Here. So we do the same thing pretty much every time. The only time I use this leash is for when we're doing narcotics detection. And the only time I use this toy is for when I'm doing narcotics detection. It's good to have a routine with your dog and not to give them constantly changing things, because dogs don't understand the world the way that we do. So keep things simple for them and they'll know what's expected. So I'm going to tell him, find it. And then he's going to get to work doing his thing. Boy, find it. So he's going to start sniffing. And we'll see if the
Oh, he knows who's there.
if the room is, if there's any other packages in here. Here. Find it. So you can see his behavior already starting to change, and the way that the odor is coming out of there is going to dictate where he follows it to. His tail's wagging, his mouth is open, and he's just trying to figure out where the best way is to get to the odor. The way that we'll know that he's confident on where it is he's going to sit. He's a little far off. I'm gonna wait to think. Where's it? Find it? Oh, he's gonna get a little closer. See if he can get. I want him to get closer to where it is. It's deep towards the back, so he's actually probably gonna sit underneath here. Here. So now he's like right on it. So I'm gonna pay him now. He's waiting for it. Yes. So even though we can't smell anything, the dogs can. And like I said, you could see the odor that's coming out of there is probably falling down underneath, like where that mat is that the officers were doing the demonstration on. So he's checking that out. He's trying to figure out exactly where it came from. The dogs usually come to us with some sort of training background. They can come from Germany, they can come from Holland, they can come from France, they can come from Serbia, basically all the European countries. The reason they come from Europe, it's kind of like America having good football players, for example. They play football, they play American football in other parts of the world, but culturally, football is really big here. So you've got generations of football players that are even having kids. That's why a lot of people who play in the NFL, they end up having like a dad that played in the NFL. Similar with the police dogs, there's a culture of protection dog sports over there, and because of that, the best working lines and the most available dogs are over in Europe. Like I said, he's from Slovakia, and that's where his family background is from. So they come usually with a little bit of training from Europe, and then they go to a 6-week police dog school with us to get them the bare basics on what they're supposed to do, and then the rest of their career is spent training with us. We train every day, and they say that the dogs usually are right where you want them to be training-wise when they're ready to retire, because it takes so long, so many repetitions to get them exactly where you want them to be. So Argos loves to work. He wants to go find more stuff, but unfortunately, this is it, buddy. I'm sorry.
Can he sniff the bad guy from far away?
Yeah, he can. Yeah. So the dogs, like we were talking about the airflow out of that drawer, we always try to search into the wind. So if we have people that are hiding from us, we will search into the wind, because the dog can sniff the bad guy, because the scent will carry for so long. Remember, their noses are amazing, so they can smell the bad guy from very far away if we are smart about how we use the dog. All right. Any other questions? All right. Cool. Thanks for having us.